Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 175 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of January 15th, 2022. It just hit me, 175. We are not that far from 200 episodes of this thing.
Should hit it this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be this year. I
next
mean,
year.
as long as we don't miss half the episodes, it should be this year. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. I'm the dispatcher here. With me I have one engineer, that's Nicholas Christensen, two firemen, Nicholas Wakefield and TJ Sicosio, and our brakeman, Dean Massara.
Okay, Dean. Now's your chance. Make your impression.
Readings programs.
Alright. With that out of the way, the train will terminate at this station.
Welcome to episode 175 of the Terminus podcast. Today we take you to Flagstaff, Arizona, my hometown. I think there's a decent amount of trains coming. There was one I checked ATCS like 20-30 minutes ago. I don't think the cool one. There's a couple cool trains passing. I know there's a military train with some UP units that'll be coming by later today.
Isn't
And just some
ATCS
other
the
tracks.
non-public thing? Like the thing that...
Who is
ATCS
this
is
guy
the
on
public
the
thing.
tracks?
ATCS is the public thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was going to be like, I'm glad we're showing off the thing that you're not supposed to have. Anyway, the Class 1 mental responsibility is first. The first thing
Wait, what thing that I'm not supposed to have?
I don't
I
know.
don't have anything that I'm not supposed to have.
I don't know, just whatever.
Exactly.
I hear things. I hear people saying like, "Ooh, I've got this thing." People aren't supposed to know about it, and then like people complaining about, "Oh, they changed whatever the system is, so I can't spy on the train movements anymore."
That never happened.
No.
I was trying to obfuscate that it was you. Okay.
I never happened.
Okay.
I haven't done anything. I don't have access to any systems.
Okay. That's exactly what a guilty person would say. Just saying.
No.
Only a
Guilty
person
would
who
probably
is
say they don't.
only a person who has done the thing says that they don't do the thing. Obviously. Anyway,
Yeah, I've never had stuff.
That's how it
So.
works in Minecraft.
okay. The very
That was
first
funny.
thing that
Come
I
on, that was
noticed
funny.
when I was putting together the Class 1 mental responsibility was that we had CN with the mantle, and then CN does not have the mantle immediately. The very first accident of the period was Canadian National on January 3rd. So basically right after the last podcast. We got a Twitter post of a train that had, I guess it had been blown over by strong thunderstorms.
Ooh.
Double stack train. It just looks like spilled Legos, honestly. And so that booted them out. They no longer have it.
I mean, it looks like a string line of some sort. Because that's a pretty tight curve, honestly. I would think.
Yeah, but there's no... Like, I don't know where they would have been moving. I mean, it says it's the weather. I'm going to believe it's the weather. I don't think they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes on this one.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They don't string
But
line.
still.
Only NS string lines.
The
Anyway,
weather
there's
is
another train.
safe.
So it was 4 days until something else happened. That something else was Union Pacific hitting a car with an 18-year-old woman driver. She was able to walk away with minor injuries, apparently, thankfully, because they hit the passenger side of the car.
Ooh. Why did she?
I don't know. I have no more of a story than that. I don't know if she tried to beat the gates or if the car stalled on the tracks or what, but I'll leave that to speculation. Then KCS the following day, they had an incident where they hit a bus. I believe it was actually KCS to Mexico. 12
looks like it.
injured, one dead on the scene, apparently. A passenger truck or a small bus that was hit by the train at 7 in the morning on the 8th, January 8th. That same day, BNSF derailed and caught on fire. 28 out of 98 cars near or outside of Vernon, which is Vernon, Texas.
California. Oh, Texas. Thought it was California.
BNSF
That's
and
close.
local authorities say there's no threat to the surrounding community, but that is a lot of burning tank cars.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, it just looks like a pretty wide open space. Like I don't think that there would be much danger unless there was like a spontaneous detonation.
I mean, they could always turn into fuel air bombs, but it's denatured alcohol. It's not like natural gas or something.
To add on to BNSF, they also hit a car in Flagstaff yesterday.
They did.
And when I say hit a car, what I really mean is they hit the tailgate and the trailer hitch in the very end of the car, and the car was able to drive off, which I think is the first time I think I've ever heard that a car survived being hit by a train.
It's a train hit and run.
But I was there to witness the tail end go into emergency, so it did still make impact, and the car is dented, but that's it.
Oh, did the car actually stop? It didn't just take off?
Still moving.
No, car stopped. So what happened was, downtown there's a railroad crossing, like really big one, right next to a major intersection.
Yeah.
So what was happening was the car had stopped trying to turn right on its very, very, very trailer hitch, and like the very end of back of the car were just over the railroad tracks as this eastbound came by and just clipped it. They only stopped for like 30 minutes, and then they were on their way again. They literally were stopped just long enough to charge the air.
Yeah, they were stopped long enough to exchange insurance information.
Yeah, pretty much. But they still did make impact, so it still counts.
Yeah. Meanwhile, NS demolished a mobile home. This was on January 11th. The train was traveling about 10 miles an hour when it just knocked off the back end of a mobile home that was being moved across the tracks from the manufacturer, I believe. Yeah, so it's not like it was.
They don't have to return it.
It's not like it was someone's house. Thankfully, it wasn't like a mobile home full of someone's stuff.
People.
It's yeah, obviously people. I don't think they move mobile homes with people in them.
Hey, did you know that
like,
Celine Dion was born on
people
March
in this
30th,
stupid
1968?
Did you know that I didn't ask?
Okay.
Oh well, the the website apparently doesn't care because it just showed me that video. So
okay.
Yeah. She's also an award-winning pop singer from Quebec, Canada.
Nice.
Yeah, we got autoplayed the same video. Nice.
So, yeah, the home was being towed. It got towed across the tracks. It got hit by a slow-moving train. I don't know how this happens. I really don't know how this happens.
I'm excited for this last one.
This last one?
This last one's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh God, this is. I mean,
it's so New York. It's so New York.
I mean, wasn't this in L.A.?
Lincoln Heights? I don't know. I thought that was. Oh, maybe that is L.A.
Yeah,
that's definitely
LA.
It would be.
This is the most perfect incident of multi-track drifting
L.
I've ever seen in real life.
This is so dumb. I love it.
It is outstanding. It couldn't have been done better if it was done on purpose. And it's a double-stack train multi-track drifting through the area where a bunch of trains had been robbed, and just like packages are strewn everywhere, which is on the one hand hilarious, on the other hand concerning, but on the third hand just like, how did this happen? How?
I love
Where do you have three hands from?
There's one of the subtweets. It's like, anyone recognize these families, and it's like family photos on the ground.
It's stuff that was being shipped.
Yeah.
I've also, well, this is kind of irrelevant to this section, so I'll save it for later, but it does have to do with this particular part of rail.
Okay. But that's it, which means that, again, CN is no longer the current holder of the Class 1 Medal of Responsibility, and for the first time in certainly my memory, probably not the history of the show, but a long time, the current holder of the Class 1 Medal of Responsibility, the only railroad that is not yet derailed in 2022, CSX Transportation.
Somehow
Hey,
the
let's
best
go.
Class 1 currently around.
Things are looking up for CSX.
Yeah, I don't know if like CSX has gotten
just
better,
nice.
but I'm pretty sure everyone else has just gotten worse.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it.
That's
CSX
basically
hasn't
it.
gotten any better. Everybody else has just gotten worse. I agree.
CSX is like, get on our level, and everyone else is
Although,
like, okay, sure.
Although,
I'll do you one better.
Little exciting little glimpse into a later part of the show.
Oh boy.
CSX is making some moves, So
yeah, unfortunately that doesn't mean it's getting better. Anything's getting better. I'm not looking forward to it.
Some things might be getting better.
Stay
tuned to hear more.
Are we gonna? Okay, I was gonna say, are we gonna talk about the potatoes? I really want to talk about the potatoes. I'm gonna do that right now.
Yes,
that's close enough to home. I don't have anything else to talk about. We're gonna talk about the potatoes right now. For the first time,
we'll talk about those. I was so excited about that. I told my girlfriend about that.
I'm sure she was like, excited about "That's nice, babe."
No, she was excited because she likes trains just because they're sustainable. So she's just happy that
nice.
She just likes that trucks aren't taking the potatoes.
Yeah. So this apparently Aroostook County had a great crop. These are the very same potato farmers, or the grandchildren of the potato farmers, that got screwed out of an entire year's crop by Penn Central and vowed never to ship by rail again. But time is a flat circle, so they've shipped by rail again. The Maine Northern Railroad and, weirdly enough, Union Pacific arranged for refrigerated cars to be sent to Van Buren, where the potatoes were loaded onto rail cars for the first time in several decades.
Hell yeah.
Arkansas? Van Buren, Arkansas?
No, Van Buren. I believe it would be Van Buren, Maine.
Oh.
Their potatoes, aren't those potatoes getting shipped to Washington?
Probably.
It's
the hashtag is "This Spuds for You," and
nice.
This Twitter posts by Maine Dot, which I love the idea of like government agencies having oddball Twitter accounts for just posting random stuff like this. But I mean, how fun is that? Also, these two cars are just mightily graffitied. But
where are you looking at this?
Oh, let me put it back. It's down in Unclaimed News. I have it highlighted right now.
Unclaimed News. There it is.
I will show the audience the graffitied potato cars.
That's so nice. I don't know. It's really cool. I
mean,
think it's...
train good, car bad, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Keep Penn Central away from them. Someone said in the replies. And then someone else replied with the screaming emoji.
A lot more of this, please, says someone.
The F yeah emoji.
It's so good. I'm personally so happy that we're getting back to this, and I hope this shows up in the goddamn news on the next Well, There's Your Problem, because I need to know what they're going to say about this. Anyway, other than that, I should say, otherwise, we're gearing up for the Big E. I will hopefully not be sick. Nobody in my household will be sick by the time the Big E comes around. Afterward, nobody knows. But I'm going to be there with the Providence Northern both days. Apparently, there have been a huge amount of early ticket sales, a ludicrous amount of vendors. Like, everyone's jonesing for the Big E because we didn't have one last year. So
is there going to be cool, like super cool stuff?
I don't know, or if it's going to be the same old cool stuff. But either way, I'm not going to be upset. Like, I'm happy to go. I stand with open arms for whatever diseases I get from those large roomfuls of people, because apparently there might not even be a mask mandate. So yeah, we're all gonna die.
Oh my god, that's crazy! With all those old people in there, what are they doing?
This is the Big E is gonna be a super spreader event.
I know, and people, dude, you know how many we're gonna have to track? We're gonna have to have a Terminus death counter.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ!
It's dark, but I think TJ might be right.
I mean, yeah, it's I just hope it's.
Talk about the worst.
I hope it's only
a crowded place.
Man, I really don't. I really don't want to joke, but at the same time, we're gonna watch the quorum for the Providence Northern drop a few people,
like a few dozen members.
Well, the quorum to get a meeting to go is only 13 people, which is like, I don't know if it's like 1/3 of the full membership of the club, whatever the ruling is. I don't know, but I need to make the slideshow for it still. I need to sit down and bang that out for the Big E. Anyway,
I would like to go, but with the way flights are, it's not looking very likely now.
Dean, you're gonna die if you go. Just don't. Just
You will.
let me. Just let me sacrifice myself for the good of the foamage, and maybe I'll come home with one of those 440s I want so bad, and then I
You
can
come
die
home with
happy.
an MRL Givo.
Covered in COVID.
Nobody wants MRL Givos anymore.
You know, COVID
I
covered
don't want
CDs.
to
Yeah,
play with
COVID
you
covered 440s.
anymore.
I don't
I
want.
don't want to play with you anymore.
Nobody wants your COVID-covered MRL Givos.
It is kind of ludicrous, and I know we'll talk about it more later, but it is kind of ludicrous that we get opposite responses. I wonder what happened with Pan Am. We get opposite responses, like MRL's going away, spoilers, and everyone's just selling all their MRL stuff. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore, right? But
yeah, wait, why? Yeah, why would
KCS
you keep it?
KCS is going away, and everyone's hoarding KCS stuff. It's so bizarre, and I'm really wondering
Well-
what's happening with Pan Am stuff. Like, what side of the coin are they on? Are people getting rid of them like the
I
plague?
feel like
Are people they hoarding
like
them?
I don't think anybody has Pan Am
Yeah,
stuff,
nobody
do they?
cares about Pan
Who
Am enough.
models the Pan Am?
Yeah, exactly. No one wants it, so of course nobody's gonna sell it or buy it.
Oh my god. The velocity of Pan Am is very, very little. There are no transactions. I want to see... Hold on, I gotta do a little research. Pan Am
Google Trend.
Jeep for sale.
It's gonna be the real thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. No, I'm just getting other kinds of Jeeps. No, I did not mean JEEP. I meant GEEP, god damn it. But what have you guys been up to over the last couple of weeks? I mean, I haven't done really anything foamy except just go to the 1 PN meeting.
Well, oh, go ahead, Dean. You can go.
Go ahead.
You're our guest, Dean. You go first.
Be our guest.
Actually, I'll go right now.
Okay,
since you
Achilles,
guys
go
can
first.
stop to drink. So it's been a little bit since I've been on, so I'll kind of just go over, what I've done since the last time. So I don't think, was I on the podcast at all when I was back home, back in Utah? I don't think so.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Oh my god. It's 99% planes if you type in Pan Am. I found 2 train things so far.
I told you,
Um,
no one wants to model the Pan Am.
Oh, 3 things. On their Z scale. So what did you do at home, O'Gillies?
I did a little bit of real fanning, not a ton, not as much as I would have ideally liked. I operated on an obsession for the first time in like 2.5 years,
Hey.
which was really fun. I brought my SP engines. Let's see. Now I'm back in Flagstaff. Came back to Flagstaff, done a bit of rail fanning here and there. I saw like 10 trains yesterday, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Let's see.
$450 for 6 50-foot boxcars? What the heck are these people smoking?
They're the only Pan Am modelers.
Yeah,
they can't get rid of
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
And then I also came up with a proto freelance scheme when I eventually save enough and decide to spend money in model trains again. You can check out the map. I'll provide a link to see the map of what we've worked on so far.
I'll put it in here.
Oh,
For-
this is for the Instagram thing that you made,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do we get to
Instagram.
mention how you were not going to do this? Like, you decided to
Well-
do this, and then you made the Instagram, and then you decided you didn't want to do this anymore, and then you got bullied into doing it.
No, it's not that. It's
Bullied.
just
He got friends.
Right. Our good friend Achilles.
Good.
Actually, I
Achilles.
wanted to mention on account of that, that I made you that beautiful meme about, do it for him. About the MRL.
you want this second one because the first one gives editing permissions, and I don't know.
I'm editing. I'm editing right now.
He drew a dick on our map.
Yeah. I mean, the whole
Super
railroads
big.
network kind of looks like it, so.
A
Yeah.
dick
Which
on
railroad?
Island.
The LANSL? NSL does not look like a dick.
And
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't, but it does.
Okay, actually, yeah, you're right. It kind of does.
If you squint and like cock your head, yeah.
It's like
Emphasis on
balls.
cock.
and a very, it's huge. He's got massive balls, but not a very big shaft. Or
He's a grower,
All
okay?
balls, no dick.
Yeah, so I don't know. Are you done,
Are
Ojillians?
you
Yeah,
Or
that's
are
pretty
you...
much all I had. Are you
I kind of
finished? Are you done?
did want to talk about this map thing.
Oh, go ahead. No,
Just
I wasn't asking to be rude. I was asking to
well, no, how dare
to
you? How
ask.
dare you ask? You're not supposed to be quiet. TJs should be seen, not heard, or whatever. No, but in seriousness, I just wanted to say that you guys, or Agilities, you in particular, started this whole thing like, oh, I'm going to make a proto-freelance railroad. And then you said, you sort of started inviting people.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what the heck would I do? I was sitting about it, and I was brainstorming a little bit. And you mentioned the Grand
Yeah.
Trunk.
Oh.
And I said, well, that didn't happen because the guy died on the Titanic. How far back are we going with history? You said way back. And I
Yeah.
said, well, what if the Titanic didn't sink? And so that is the wrinkle that I might have to try to explore as to what knock-on effects would the Titanic not sinking
Oh my
have on
God.
the railroad industry in the United States. I have no idea where to begin with that, but anyway.
So that's probably the first fold. Several other folds that exist are the LANSL. UP is not what it is. So I said when I was scheming with Milky, like before this even started, before this podcast started, we were like, how can we screw the Union Pacific specifically over as much as we can?
Wow.
So
Nice.
first off, Milky's Railroad, UP would have
Oregon
never,
Pacific.
in this universe, UP was just North Platte to Ogden. Because they never got track, and Denver too. You can't forget about Denver. They do still run to Denver, but and probably we'll let them have other spots further east, like whether it be the Milwaukee or whether it be the Mopac or whatever. But UP was never obtained the Los Angeles and Salt Lake because that's what I'm modeling. So kind of would be a bit difficult for that to coexist. But anyway. So, in addition to that, Milky's Oregon Southern owns the Oregon Short Line.
You mean the Oregon Pacific?
Oregon Pacific owns the Oregon Short Line, bought the Oregon Short Line.
Yeah.
Oregon Union Rail Navigation, which was
Oregon
like
Rail Navigation. Yep.
whatever, same thing. And then
Spokane International.
That one.
Because why not?
and so UP doesn't own anything in the Northwest. They don't go
Oh,
to LA.
CNW.
And they don't run to Chicago by way of the CNW like they do in real life. We're probably going to let them have the Milwaukee or let the Milwaukee have the UP because, I don't know, we can.
No, we're going to let the PR have the Milwaukee as God intended.
No, incorrect. UP gets the Milwaukee. I'm sorry, Ellis. But, and the other thing, and if Leibold was here, he'd really like this, and this is what would entice Leibold. In this universe, the Rio Grande was allowed to expand. So the Santa Fe never cared about Tennessee Pass either. There's a lot of things that are different in this universe. But Santa Fe, for whatever reason, lost the war, and there were no concessions made, so the Rio Grande was allowed to build west of Salt Lake City. So the WP just never existed, because there wasn't a point for the Western Pacific to exist, because it was already fulfilled in purpose by the Rio Grande.
Which is disappointing because the WP did some neat things.
Yeah,
I
they
liked
did.
their schemes.
Or we can have the WP exist and merge with the Rio Grande. That would probably be better, actually.
How does that work?
Carefully.
I mean, they probably would have done it at some point had UP not done it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually pretty tame and normal.
That's one of the more conceivable possible mergers because
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
kind of intentional and it was bound to happen at some point.
but with that, the SP would have had nobody to merge with, so we're trying to figure out what the hell to do with the SP is the current problem, because the SP would have never been able to merge with the Grand. One
Why don't you
theory...
just keep it the SP?
Yeah, in fairness, the SP's pretty damn big.
Yeah.
It's true. One theory we came up with, though, was that SP probably would have gotten the entirety of the Rock Island when the Rock Island went bankrupt, because UP was never what they were in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So SP probably could have gotten the entirety of the Rock and the Chicago access via the Rock.
Nice Rock.
So that makes sense. But that's probably what we're going to wind up with. So SP, Rio Grande, UP, and LASL, Oregon Southern all exist still in the modern day.
Yeah.
Basically, if you can just imagine the merger eras of the 1990s, 1980s, and 70s, as well as E.H. Harriman never existing, you can pretty much get to where we're at in this universe.
that was another thing too. We wanted to screw Herman.
Yeah, I think one thing that makes a lot of sense is like the government took a lot like we can use to justify all this is the government took a lot stricter of a stance on mergers, so there's a lot more railroads around. Because the government was a lot stricter on mergers than it was in this in the real universe.
The only reason why the Oregon Pacific is as big as it is in those universes, it bought bankrupt railroads.
And the LANSL just kind of built. So in the LASL never ran to Arizona, obviously, but because I live in Arizona and I think it's cool, we do. So it doesn't. We own Arizona. We have track in Arizona. It doesn't. In reality, the history doesn't like this history this far back doesn't really matter. It's just kind of fun. But all that really matters is LASL still exists, and Oregon Southern and Rio Grande and whatever Ellis does, and Jader's little thing is around. And, but it's fun. It's fun to.
You guys look on the east side of the Mississippi, and everything is Tuscan, and it's like, whoa, what happened over there?
Yeah.
No.
Just remember, Ellis, if you want it to be real, you have to draw it in the map.
Yeah, I know. Pain.
Like I'm working on the Rio Grande right now.
Me opening the Mississippi Rails KMZ files as fast as I can.
I think you might just be able to import a KMZ file. I have.
You can. You can.
Into this, you can. So I just started it.
Well, you can make it in Google Earth and then compile all that together and make it, and then import it into Google Maps. That's what I usually do.
Yeah, I think that's what we did for.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing
for Merger Mania.
Yeah, for Merger Mania. That's what Kevon was doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll give a few minutes to other people now that we're done with the alt history shenaniganry that I love so very, very much.
Yeah. Alt history is so fun.
So
I haven't been.
Yeah.
Go.
Especially involves the branch line still being around.
Is this that branch line, Milky?
Yes.
Whoa.
This is the second or the first, or there were 3 bridges on this branch line. It's the Southern Pacific's Cheer branch, which ran from Southern Oregon to a Y at a town that was once known as Cheer, but nowadays it's just an intersection.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
I'd like to apply to become king of Jeer. Nobody's going to stop me.
Yeah, you and me both. But no, I decided to walk out to this bridge. I knew that it wasn't too hard to get to, and the byway seemed pretty clear up to that point. So I thought, oh, why not? I'll go to the soccer field and then across it, and then on the byway, and then I walked about a mile to the bridge.
Okay,
And it's pretty neat. It's still there.
It is. It's
Even
nice.
though
It's very well pruned, this right of way.
Yeah,
It looks like it reminds me of the one in Pasco.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very reminiscent of the trail up there. It's definitely kept.
Yeah.
Somebody's paying attention to it.
I suspect that the power company, which you can see in the you can see their substation next to the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
They probably use it as an access road.
Yeah, it looks like it. They've even got guardrail there.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. TJ, what did you want to bring up before Dean can talk about the Gmod here, which is cool in part because it ended up on the community channel? Or were you just trying to stay away from Achilles?
No, I
the hell,
was.
TJ? I'm just kidding.
Well, firstly, I've been going to Worcester a lot because I work there now. So I have been seeing a lot of P&W power. On my way up this time, I saw 2 pumpkins. The classic, the nice P&W scheme.
Oh, the old. Okay.
2 of them put together, and I was like, oh, because usually it's 1 and 1, but they actually had a full train set of the pumpkin boys. And then I also went to Boston this weekend, so I rode the commuter rail as one does.
$10 weekend pass.
Exactly, $10 weekend pass. You cannot get a better deal. Unlimited rides on anywhere in the system the entire weekend. Come on, $10.
It is, and I do not use this lightly. It is extremely based.
It really is.
A steal, not a deal.
But yeah, so I also rode the Orange Line for the first time in a couple years.
Orange.
And that was eye-opening. I watched I was going one way, I saw the opposite directions train come in and leave, and I was surprised at how rusty it is. And I remembered how old the Orange Line cars are. And then I heard an announcement, and it was like, the following train will not stop. It is not a train for customers or whatever. And in pulls one of the new Orange Line train sets, and it just kind of like rolls through the station. I was like, whoa. I was really excited.
It's shiny.
Well, because when we saw the Oak Grove train, I said to my girlfriend, I was like, yeah, this train is like look how old and gross it is. They have new ones, but they derailed, so they stopped using them. And so now they just have new train sets just sitting around doing nothing. And then like 5 minutes later, the new one just comes rolling through.
I mean, it's cool. They keep trying. They keep trying to bring them into service, and like, I give it a week before they find something wrong, and they're shelved again for a month.
Just tear them out.
Yeah. They look so good. They're literally like, bro. They're very similar to the old ones. Just they look exactly like the old ones, just modern.
Yeah, they look like the old ones, cool. Except RTX on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really cool that they kind of kept the same feel of the MBTA.
Yeah, it's definitely evolution, not revolution, and that's really neat. It's really neat. I mean, as a sidebar, I was really tempted to go down to New York City because they were retiring the R32s, the oldest subway cars they have had in service. I think they came in service in like the 60s or something. It's been forever.
About decades, yeah.
Yeah, and I just heard about that, and I was like, oh man, I'd love to see that. I want to see this. And then the rides for the end of service were apparently a disaster because foamers trying to take pieces.
What?
Yeah.
Foamers.
There was some vandalism on a couple of the rides that made a lot of people very unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty trash, but they finished them all out, and by and large, it was a successful event, and I wish I had gone. All right, Dean, really quick,
pieces.
We'll go to you before we move on a little bit. Oh, I forgot to ask that other important question before we started the show. You guys should have stalled for longer. Anyway, can I have your Alcos?
No.
Oh.
Get fucked.
Oh, okay.
We're in AMD Road here.
Anyway,
hey, this is a family show.
Anyway,
I don't think the show's been family appropriate since like episode 4.
No, I'd say episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 1. Yep. It's never been.
So, I haven't been out real fan recently because the weather's been kind of iffy, and I've been so tired from like work. So I've been doing stuff in Gary's mod recently. If you scroll up, you can see my 2 recent projects: an RS3 and an ST70 Mac.
Nice.
Mac.
The Mac outfit, the Mac photo is from yesterday. A lot more stuff on it now. It's got number boards. It has actual wheels. It looks pretty good now. I didn't get a picture of it, so that kind of sucks. What I also did, about late last year, I've been sort of working around like GM Unreal Friendly because I like Payne's videos on it, but he hasn't made them in a few years now. They're kind of old, and like a bunch of new stuff has come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been sort of chasing around admin's trains and just getting footage of those and sort of like get like editing them.
Yeah.
I can't speak.
Okay.
Editing them together into like a short-ish video, about 10 minutes max.
You can edit
And-
me together, Dean.
Okay.
Tell that to your girlfriend.
I-
But
I already did that today.
bruh. But
Okay.
I think that they turned out
Make
pretty
as
well.
many of those jokes as I can because it's really funny to me. Not to any of you
I-
guys, but to me.
Yeah, I know. But I think they came out pretty well. They aren't going to be as professional as Payne's are. They're just something from me to like do in my time where I just like don't want to do anything else. It's just do something but not play games.
You can do me, Dean.
And God damn it, I appreciate, I appreciate that you're putting this content on the community channel. I put a link to that video in the cargoes. If you guys that are listening to this podcast have not subscribed to the community channel, please do. Part of it, of course, is to promote
I'm
the
actually
channel.
not subscribed to the
and-
community channel.
Part of it is because I need to get it over 100 subscribers again so that I can fix the custom URL. Because it says Admiral Ellis now. Because that was the original Admiral Ellis channel, and I want that custom URL for the current Admiral Ellis channel. But I can't change it until it has 100 subscribers. So I'm stuck with
I've
a custom URL that I don't want.
Yeah, there
I
are
also
like
have some videos
52.
that are ready for for the community channel. I'll put
Put them
them
up.
eventually.
Excellent. Anyway, so Dean, I didn't get to ask you this before the show because I forgot and I'm dumb. What do you want to do for Locomotive Versus?
Let's see what we got.
Because I
I don't know what 1504 is. I've never seen it before. I don't
1504 is
think.
the other Pacific that that the Sugar People just got.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Okay.
It's Florida Man 2.
Florida Man. Give me in.
Give me some sugar.
Or the man beats up standards.
No. I mean, I would be willing to do that. I don't know who has the advantage there at all.
Right?
Yeah, I'm down with that. 1504 versus a
Okay.
K4.
I'll be for the man. Why not?
I'm gonna be the K4.
Of course.
I can't not be the K4. Well, Dean, did you want to be one of them?
No, that's
Oh.
fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
We need pictures though. ACL.
Oh, oop.
I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you
Does
did
anyone
this.
want to? Does anyone want to do
Oh.
the thing?
Continuing to oop.
Wow,
What was
that was
that?
incredible. Okay,
That was pretty decent, actually.
it was definitely something.
Oh,
You said, does anybody want to do the thing? And I'm eating, so my microphone was up. I literally dropped my food and just. Oh. No,
Okay then.
You dropped your food.
I did not actually.
Looking for a good picture, but the thing is, there are no good pictures. 'Cause these engines are crap.
It's been in a park.
Trying to find a good picture. Yes, also do.
I have too
I'm-
many pictures
I'm
to choose from.
attempting-
Too
I'm
many
attempting to
pictures.
get this
Too
to
many
work. Why
pictures.
is that working?
Oh, look, another Givos on stacks. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Blurst K4. Here you go.
The one with the center headlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh, it's got the slap plow too.
Anyway,
Not
there's
the cast one.
There's a
Okay,
different
there.
picture.
That took me way too long to fix.
God, it looks so dumb.
Yeah, it's a weird looking one. Unfortunately,
Okay.
the K4 the picture is too large. It's taking up the entire screen. Okay, there we go. The extra zoomed in K4. All right, who do you guys think are going to go first? And can I get a volunteer to keep track of the? Nah, you know I can do it. It's not the end of the world. I need to open this up because it's been a while since I've done one of these. Anyway, yeah, who should go first? Do you guys think?
1504.
Yeah. Okay. All right, hit me.
204. Okay, I'm trying to find the crafts. Okay. Right on.
Look, that is the streamlined version as its own entry. The Turbo Turd.
Turbo Turd.
Turbo.
Isn't that the entire class, though?
No, the other ones don't have any turbo.
No, I meant the turd part.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're not all Turbo Turds. Only that one's turbo.
Valve gear.
We're going with wall shirts.
Bout or Baker.
Okay, and there's a point for Moki. Go again.
Yeah. Good. Boiler pressure.
Oh boy. Let's see. Boiler pressure. Where is it? I've lost it. Oh, it's down here. Boiler pressure is 205 psi.
Bob Saget. 200.
Rest in peace, Bob Saget.
Yeah. That Clinton's finally got to him.
All right, we're gonna go with number built.
Oh dear.
70.
425.
Yep. I knew that one.
We're also gonna go with number in class.
Oh god, double
70.
425. Okay, I got those out of the way. That was difficult. I really had to think about those.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with. Let's see. Let me look at these two engines. We're gonna go with tender fuel capacity. Is this oil?
I mean, with like capacity. What tender though?
Whatever's listed here on Steam Locomotive. It's not the coast to coast. What do you say?
16 tons, I assume.
If it's the one before the slash, then yeah, tons. 18 tons.
16 tons.
I was waiting for that.
That's not bad.
Let's see. That actually is a little bit. I don't like that. Just based on what we just did.
I can feel it.
Yeah. Can I get? This is either going to screw me over or it's going to be a real cheeky win. Can I get a flue tube length, please?
Oh no. You might have screwed yourself over.
18.87.
Okay, 19.08.
Wow.
Oh, never mind.
That was pretty good.
I was kind of hoping you would be just 19 even, and I would be 19.08. So I could beat those guys. Let's see. We're gonna go with firebox area.
242.
242. I have 322.
Oof.
Yeah, that was kind of expected.
Okay, Robert Lamasu's power computation.
13,340.
14,350. Okay. I can do this. Evaporative heating surface.
Evaporative heating surface. Okay, that's a nice number. 3,333.
That is a nice number. But you know what's nicer? 4,058.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
been stopped.
Superheating surface.
794.
943. Just looking at these two really quick. Let's go with same as above plus superheater percentage.
$15,875.
17,077. It's 10-1.
Look, he's getting beat the hell up.
Yeah, I didn't
And here
expect
I
it to be
was
this
thinking that-
lopsided. I really didn't know what I was getting into with 1504 here. I know 1504 beat the crap out of 148. I didn't expect it to be this much worse than
It's
a K4.
I expected to beat the crap out of the grandpa of standard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just not a big engine. It's like a USRA light Pacific, and the K4s are anything but light.
They are turbo not gross.
Yeah. So we're gonna do. Let's do firebox area. Let's get that out of the way.
Firebox area.
Didn't you already do this?
No, I did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh wait, sorry. Great area then. My bad.
Okay. 66.70.
66.70. 70 even.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Okay, let's go back down. Saves above, but substitute firebox area for great area.
Yeah. 57,596.
78,069.8.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Ooh, I don't know about some of these. I'm not. I don't think I want to go down further than that. I don't want to chance it. So let's do tractive effort.
Tractive effort. 40,753.
44,460.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I know I'm winning by a huge margin, but I'm more scared than I've ever been in Locomotive Versus.
Yeah.
I know I'm
Because
gonna make one
you know the
misstep,
inevitable.
and I'm gonna get. I mean, it's gonna be a lot. I wouldn't say I'm gonna get the crap beat out of me, but it's gonna be a lot closer to.
How many times do we have to teach you the system,
Yeah, exactly.
old man?
I don't.
Don't you?
Okay.
Forget about me.
Oh man. Okay, I'll come back to that one. Combined heating surface. Why did I do that one?
Mining surface. I don't know why you didn't do that one either. It was the most obvious one. Okay, but 4,127.
Okay, 5,001. Almost 5,000 even, which would have been nice. Like, it would have been a very satisfactory number. Okay. We did that one, we did that one. I don't know about that one. Let's see. How about... Well, I'll just do this because I'm pretty sure this is a relatively surefire thing. Builder.
Several, apparently.
Uh-oh. That's not the answer I wanted. I didn't want several.
Oh no.
So,
Fear.
there were Wixmend, Wooks,
Starting strong.
Say Baldwin, say Baldwin, say Baldwin, say Baldwin. Please, for the love of God, say Baldwin.
With
Baldwin
Richmond
maybe.
as a starter, I would hope that Baldwin isn't in there.
Hold up.
I think this is just a slew of Alco builders.
Yeah. It may well be a true Valco builder. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna double check that because
Yeah. Do a check. I mean, I know that
I'll take a look.
I know that
See how-
Baldwin built a significant number of these.
1504. It's in the Baldwin, but
Well-
I'm not. Oh, Baldwin was one of the builders.
Really?
But, yep.
It was awesome.
I don't
Look, you
doubt
take
You're
your
awesome.
stick and beat them.
I don't doubt you, but I do want the sauce.
Okay, I will
That's
provide the
awesome.
sauce. Okay.
I'm just curious because if they were built partly by Richmond and partly by Baldwin, that's whack.
Um,
But I guess they were pretty standard. I mean, they were USRA,
here
right?
we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me do some reading on this because, where is this?
Yep.
81 light Pacific types. Okay, along with 69 other 462As built by Alco and
Nice.
Baldwin. Nice.
Nice.
Number.
Okay, so
Hot.
yeah, all right. You have the ball then.
Now beat
Yay.
them.
Now I can beat up Grandpa.
Oh no.
You have a slew of stats to choose from. Pick them.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm cowering in fear.
FD.
Milky, you should do
Oh,
Loco
nothing.
Base ID.
No.
You should call Loco Base ID.
No.
Sus.
No.
Okay, I call local base ID.
You can't do that yet. Wait till Judge's choice.
What is your
How dare-
axe building?
Oh no.
He doesn't have one.
No, I have Axle loading. It's 65,000 pounds.
Oof. 58,200.
Yeah, that's a lot
Good.
better.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, fucking crazy.
Weight on drivers.
199,500 pounds.
168,000.
That's better.
Engine weight.
Like a zillion pounds, dude.
Yeah, I know.
304,500 pounds.
I got 278,000.
That's closer than I would have thought.
Tender loaded weight.
Tender loaded weight, 212,725 pounds. Why is that so specific?
I don't know. You got 12 pounds somewhere in your tender.
Maybe somewhere in that tender.
Alice has a fat caboose or tender.
I mean,
Yeah.
that too.
That was a compliment.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm
So
just trying to
mine
say you have a
is
fat ass, Alice.
188,000.
What'd you say, Milky?
188,000.
188. Okay, yeah, that's substantially lighter. Okay, it's 5 to 14 now. You're catching up.
Total engine and tender weight.
Total engine and tender weight, 517,225 pounds.
466,000 pounds.
I love being 500,000 pounds.
Minimum
in
weight of
Pacific.
whale.
Minimum weight of rail. Do I have to answer this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dude.
think of Lionel tracks 3 rails next to one another. Just go with
Yeah.
that. I just need an extra one. No, it's 111 pounds per yard.
Max
Jesus.
45. 93 pounds.
Damn,
93
your shit's
pounds.
fat as fuck.
Ooh, down there in the double digits. I hope you feel special.
Yep, I do.
Damn it.
Especially right now. um. Okay.
You should call driver diameter.
No.
You should call factor of adhesion.
No.
You should call.
I'll do it, Milky.
No.
Ellis, I think you would
No.
handily lose that one.
You should call tubes.
No. No. Hmm. I need to look at your tender again.
I mean, I don't know if the tender in the picture is the right tender, but I do know that you should definitely call tender water capacity.
Don't.
No.
It's definitely a thing.
Milky, if you call that, I'll bully you.
I'll bully you.
All right, I'm gonna
don't
be
think
real
you're
with you for just a second.
Year built
Oh God, 1914.
1918.
All right, so
Awesome.
I get the beginning of the war, you got the end of the war. That's actually not as
Yeah.
much of a difference as I thought there was going to be. They were still building these when they stopped building yours.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
High pressure cylinders.
All right, 1 second.
Ooh, I wouldn't do that.
I'm double checking the thing that I just said, because I want to know when the last one was built. Let's see.
Wouldn't it be in the little blurb on a Steam logo?
You would hope, but this blurb is really long, so I'm trying to skim through it, and I can't find it.
Oof.
Let's see. I mean, it was definitely. I don't know. It took a while. They built 425 of them. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so they were still building. 1924. They built a run of them in 1924 to 1928. So, yeah, they were. It took them a while to crank out 425 of these things, which isn't really a surprise. It shouldn't surprise anyone. Anyway, high pressure cylinders, 27 by 28.
25 by 28.
Okay, I don't know why you asked that.
Yeah,
I don't know why,
that was a
but I had
stupid
more
move.
cylinders.
Okay, let's see. I mean, we're high enough that I can go straight to style points if I wanted to, but I kind of want the answers to some burning questions.
I do too.
Namely, I'm afraid. Actually, I'm so afraid to ask these questions.
Start with an F.
No,
That's...
no,
Oh.
no, it doesn't.
Does it
That is
start
a
with
burning question I
9?
do not need the answer to. It starts with an L. Hey, what's your loco base ID, Milky?
Oh no.
1,417.
All right, 159.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. What do I do? I mean, I could just go from here, but I just want to press the issue. I'm a terrible person. I just want to press the issue. I want to get myself screwed. I don't.
If that's what you're into.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I'll just relinquish it to the judges. Maybe they'll answer some of my burning questions. We're going to style points. So, Dean, TJ, O'Gillies, you guys have any? You guys get to ask one question apiece.
Yes. Factor of adhesion.
No, please don't ask that. Ask a different question.
Factor of adhesion.
It's
Factor of adhesion,
4.49.
Wait, what?
Ooh.
4.49.
Okay.
Mine
Milky.
is 4.12.
Yeah, that's good.
He...
Remember what I said?
He...
Remember what I said? You should call that one. That was reverse psychology. I was trying to lump it in with all the ones I thought I would win. I'm a goddamn genius, apparently. No, I'm not.
No,
anyway, Achilles, TJ, do you guys have one?
Local based ID.
We just did.
It was
that.
already asked.
You already did that.
asked. I'm usually the one who asks that and already gets told that. What the hell is up with this?
I was getting my dinner. Sorry.
Yeah, how dare you?
The hell, TJ? How dare you? How dare you
eat?
sustain life?
How dare you consume?
Yeah. Keep going.
That's how it becomes. Let me take a look at this.
TJ, you enjoyed that a little too much.
Any recommendations?
Yeah, I have some recommendations.
Let me take a look.
You should call. You should call. Power L1.
Power M1.
No. You mean Power MT?
Power.
Yep.
Oh,
No.
God,
Power MT.
691.26.
703.82.
Yeah, I didn't want that at all. So 10 to 16. Achilles,
Have anything?
you don't have anything?
No.
I mean, you could always call tubes or flues or tender water capacity.
Alice Tomelia's
Milky, what's a stat? Milky,
Yeah.
I'm on your side here. What's a
God
stat
damn
that
it.
benefits you, actually?
The what?
Tubes.
Milky, what's something that benefits you right now, right here?
Anything revolving around weight.
bay.
which I think I asked everything.
Yeah.
Although,
Did you do overall wheelbase?
no,
That's one.
but engine wheelbase would probably be better.
No, you should definitely ask Power L1.
You know what, Ellis?
What?
What's your flue length?
Oh, we did that one.
Those are
Yep,
shit. Milky, what is
engine wheelbase, fam.
what's your engine wheelbase? Sure.
Mine is
Oh.
34.92.
Okay, engine wheelbase. Mine is 36.17. So that's
Yeah, that's what I thought.
okay.
That's
So
what I
it's 11 to 16. I'd like to say real quick that I don't remember what they're called, but I had the little things on top of my cylinders that get called out as a style point. Again, I don't remember what they're called, but they've been called out before, and I don't see them on Milky.
Okay.
It's on top of your
Um,
cylinders.
Yeah, they look like little
Like a disc?
popped open. Yes,
I have no idea what that is. I have no idea why that would be called for a style
because
point.
it's a thing. It's a mechanical thing. It helps.
A mechanical thing.
It is a
That
mechanical
helps.
thing.
Mechanical thing that helps specifically,
Yeah, it's
Dean.
a cylinder thing.
That it helps.
Cylinder helpy thing.
Clearly,
That's
you don't
what it
know
says
anything
on the
about
diagram.
steam.
It says cylinder helpy thing.
Milky has front doors, if it looks.
Okay.
I
You
do.
know,
Alice, I
I
don't
do
think
have
you do.
doors. I do have doors.
I don't have doors. Okay.
That's the standard now.
Yeah.
Milky, do you have anybody in operation?
No, we both
Yeah.
have one engine that's on the way to returning operation.
Oh.
Do you know if there are any
Survival weight.
survivors of yours though?
At least one.
Okay, thanks.
Well, okay, there are. I think I'm just the one, but I do have a better survival
Yeah.
rate because
Yeah, I mean, 1 out
Yeah.
of 70 is way better than 2 out of 425.
yeah,
I've got what else did I have that was kind of neat? I've got a folding coupler.
That's
that's kind of neat.
I think Milky has more sand capacity.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has more or if the dome just looks
we
proportionally bigger.
might be about
but-
the same.
Yeah.
I'd say they're about the same.
Yeah.
I don't
Service
know. I
life.
haven't been on the engines, so
Who has the longest service life?
That's a good question. But when were you retired? Because
I
that'll
was retired in 1952.
1952. I don't actually know when. Well,
Last
let me
P4s?
just check when was 1361 retired?
I think some of the New York and non-branch ones survived until 58.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So. Yeah, I had 38 years of service, retired from revenue service in 1956. I assume that some other ones were restored after, or sorry, were retired after that, and of course,
Yeah.
that service life doesn't include the early years because 1361 was not one of the first batch. So 1914 to 1956 versus 1918 to when did you say 1958?
52.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah.
trying to go for the long one. So you hypothetically have a couple of years on me in terms of retirement date, but I have a couple of years on you for just total length of service
What
life.
Yeah.
I
I was put
was-
on display in front of my company's headquarters.
was put on display at Horseshoe Curve.
Yeah, Alice has streamlining.
I
company.
I also had an excursion career, but that's beside the point.
Was it a good one?
Okay, nowhere does it say it has to be a good one. It may have broken something immediately, but
After one trip,
you know,
but it's okay. It's okay. It still counts.
it tried. We tried really hard.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and got so far, but in the end, you blew wherever you blew.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was like a whole axle
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Um,
You both appear to have power reverse, so that's not an option.
yes, we definitely both have power reverse.
I don't know steam engines, but
Uh,
I think the white
Alice,
wall.
why is your
cool.
dynamo on like on the smoke box?
It's a
and
dynamo
Elvis
shelf.
is like on the
Do you not have a
boiler?
dynamo shelf? It's a dynamo shelf. It's where you keep your dynamo.
It looks
Yeah.
stupid.
No,
No, you look
It
you
looks
stupid.
keep it
dumb.
on the
It looks
boiler.
No, the light goes on the boiler, obviously.
No.
It's dynamo
Unless your
shelf.
headlight looks stupid and
Your
nobody
face.
likes you.
I have a toolbox. Suck it.
Why does your engine have shelves?
To put stuff on, like the dynamo.
But why
Does your engine not have shelves? Oh, chilies.
Because my Milky's engine looks good.
No.
Yes.
Models. I know there are plenty of
I have-
K4 models
yeah,
out there, both real and virtual. So
and
Definitely
there's
have
plenty of USRA models.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
there's-
it's
Yeah,
the
they're
foam
probably
is
about
strong.
equal. Yeah,
I'm not even
For
going
your
to bring up the
headlights.
streamlining thing because according to Steam Locomotive, that's a separate class of one engine. Which, by the way, I
Right.
just want to say that the factor of adhesion for the streamline engine is so much worse.
oh no.
It's over 5, just because of all the extra weight from the streamlining. It's so bad.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh, what the heck did I want to say though? We did have several variations, including a variation with elephant ears.
Yes,
Which
of course you did.
Looks hilarious.
Looks stupid.
It does look stupid, but it looks funny. We also had another version with Skyline casing, but I'm definitely not gonna take that as a second point. We had a whole bunch of like experiments, test beds. One of them had like poppet valve gear. I would assume they threw a booster onto one just for kicks for no particular reason.
Okay.
Of course, they played musical tenders with these things. Did you ever get a stoker?
did I?
Or were you
That's
made
a
with
really
one, I
good
should say?
question.
Because I eventually got a stoker. Because
As far as I can tell, the tender seems like it has one.
okay, because we were told you got to do that.
Do you have Trainline Steam?
I would assume so. I would assume both of us do.
I definitely do, because I was built for passenger use.
Yeah. Well, so were the K4s. I don't know anything else. I mean, these are both engines that are old but had such a long service life that they got
Yeah.
a lot of, shiny new things fitted onto them as time went on.
Ellis I think you would have 2 sets of marker lights on K4s. Or
Some
that
of
might
them
be something
definitely did.
else.
This picture doesn't have them, but some of them definitely did. This picture actually has really weird, like, I was about to say non-standard. Unusual marker lights. I am mandated by law not to call anything on this non-standard. So, they're just unusual.
That stupid shelf is unstandard.
No, your face is
Yeah.
unstandard, okay?
Nobody likes your dumb shelf, Ellis.
Apparently, we loved our dumb shelf, okay?
The cast plow, I'm really not a fan of.
I mean, it's usually a point. I wasn't going to bring it up because it definitely wasn't common across the entire class, but it's a thing.
Like what? Like what does it serve? Like what's the purpose of a cast
So
class
that when
versus
you
a
hit
normal one?
stuff, it doesn't get wedged in between the bars.
Yes, because
And it comes with a folded
makes...
coupler. That's what it does. It's like the upgrade package. They don't give like the individual upgrades anymore. You have to pick the whole upgrade package. This was the Grand Lux K4.
I
Not
hate
really.
this railroad.
Of course, you compare it to a freaking Volvo.
Yeah, I do. Anyway, I think that seals it unless you've got something else, Melky.
I don't.
Okay. Because I didn't even start digging into the actual standards fun mess of like, did you know that this boiler went on more than one class of locomotive and they just made a bunch of them so they could swap them out?
Your railroad's dumb.
No, the railroad is actually very smart. They just went about things in a weird way that applied only to them.
No, they were so big-brained that they merged with their arch rival and went bankrupt. So.
Well, that did happen.
Yeah, real smart there.
Also, says the guy who likes the Penn Central.
I know.
Your railroad is stupid, and I don't respect them.
No,
I mean, Milky has like a larger smokebox door, which I think would add to ease of like cleaning.
Well, that's probably fair, but I already wrote down the points.
Right.
Your smokebox door is too big for me.
Can you not
be horny?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop
why
being
are you
horny
so
on me.
horny? Jesus Christ!
No.
This isn't the
It adds
horny on
comedic
me
relief
podcast.
to the podcast.
No, it just makes me feel weird.
Are you sure it's comedic?
Yeah.
Or something else?
Comedic.
Okay.
Let's get on with it.
23 to 14. Who's voting for what?
I'm voting for 1504.
Yeah,
I'm also voting for 1504.
Yeah, I knew that.
I will never
I
vote
hate
for a standardized
standard.
standard.
Yeah. They were
Ellis,
Galaxy
PRR
Brain,
can exist in
goddammit.
the PXR can exist in the fictional universe as long as you admit that the shelf is stupid.
The shelf? It was an unusual choice of placement. I don't know why they didn't do it the other way around. I really wonder what their rationale was for, we're going to put the dynamo in front.
Up front.
And the thing behind. I assume it's because they figured they needed to work on the dynamo more often than they needed to replace the light bulb. But...
So, by that logic, the dynamo was a piece of crap.
No, by that logic, a dynamo has things that you have to adjust on it, probably. I've never worked with an actual old-fashioned dynamo, but I bet if you asked Weibold, like, hey, does it need, like, a little bit of attention, or does it just work all the time? I don't think it's going to be option B.
Well, I mean, if it was rebuilt by Wasatch, then it wouldn't work.
And it just wouldn't work, yeah. It would actually probably explode.
Thankfully, the K4 is not being rebuilt by Wasatch.
It's not being rebuilt by anybody.
I mean, that's not accurate. It is being rebuilt as we speak.
I know.
It's coming to a railroad near you, whether you like it or not. It's gonna show up outside the UP Steam shop and start like kicking over cans,
and they'll just have the big wheel push it all the way back to the ocean so it can rest there at the bottom like it belongs.
Okay, sure. Yeah, they get there and the K4 deploys like a giant water wing. A bunch of PR engineers wake up from the dead and they're like, we thought of this. We planned for every eventuality. It turns out the PRR employed Batman.
Yeah.
Just contingency plans.
Where's my goddamn electric car, Bruce?
Yeah.
Or electric K4 in this case.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it is. They're rebuilding 1361 as an electric engine. That's my headcanon. Anyway, TJ, what do you vote for?
K4.
Okay, I thought so. I was gonna say I can't believe you would betray me. You're supposed to be a Pennsylvanian.
I didn't.
But, do you think an electric steam engine would work?
I mean, the Swiss did it.
Yeah.
Would it still make?
You can have an electric oven.
I mean, it would.
Yeah, everything would work the same except the fire.
Yeah, you just have a big heating element. It'd
There
be
would
like a
be less-
giant
there would be-
water heater on wheels.
It'd be like a giant vape.
Sure, yeah.
You make it strawberry flavored.
The hipster locomotive.
Yeah, you could put dyes in it.
I mean, you
Make
can
the
already do
smoke.
that with an oil-fired engine.
I feel like
anyway.
you could do that no matter what. If the stuff you're putting
Yeah.
in, you're putting in the
Yeah,
water.
true.
Like all steam
True.
engines need water. If you're trying to make an electric steam engine, but it somehow doesn't involve water, I think you've just built an electric locomotive.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about using the electrics like a electric stove.
Yeah.
Like just have a slab underneath the water in the boiler of electric heat, and then it boils the water, same as a firewood.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
DJ is now becoming the more advanced version of that one railroad that filled their engine with concrete.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Let me find this really quick. Not that anyone here is unfamiliar with these. Yeah, electric fired steam. Here's the locomotives page for the time the Swiss ran out of coal and decided to retrofit their steam engines to be giant water heaters.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so they had plenty of hydroelectricity and they did not have so much coal. So, you know, they also, the fun thing about these is they didn't replace the firebox in any way. They didn't modify the firebox in any way. They could still fire them with coal if need be. They just could put up a pantograph and heat the water that way.
Yes.
Really strange.
It's extremely strange, but it's a really clever solution to.
It's not strange. It's revolutionary.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of a thingamy.
And one of the engines survives, although it doesn't have the pantograph anymore. That needs to come to a locomotive versus someday. I need to figure out what class of locomotive that is, just so it can show up.
Boiler presser.
Yeah.
And the loaded weight, infinite.
Yeah, exactly. What is the loaded weight of the reservoir of the dam that's generating
Damn,
the power?
son, where'd you find this?
Okay, thanks. No, but really, thank you. I appreciate it being a regular old meme and not like you being
Good
horny.
old meme.
Yeah.
Let's get off that, please.
I will continue to be horny.
Can you
That
not?
ran-
The show
No, can you not?
must go
I mean-
on.
Well, what is the show going to go on to? We've got we've got 4 pretty interesting discussion topics and also light rail.
Milky, random
Right.
quick question. Where do you find those KMZs with the U.S. railway maps?
That'd be
Mississippi Rails.
Rails.
Thank you.
Let me
The
pull it for
classic.
you.
I'll put that in the cargos for people that are curious.
No, don't give away our secret.
Let's see. Google Earth Railroad
My dog is
maps.
going nuts.
There we go.
Germs.
Let me put that in the cargos. Google Earth Rail.
Dogs are absolutely nuts.
Get him. Well, because it's sort of detached from everything else, Dean, do you want to talk about your streetcar situation?
Yes. So the Memphis Area Transit Authority, or MATA, is planning a light rail system to the Blue Oval City plant in where is it? It's not in Memphis. It's going to be in somewhere in Tennessee. It's going to be
Somewhere.
along I-40. I don't remember where it's going to be exactly.
Well,
Look it
what's...
up.
Oh, it says it's in
Blue Oval.
Stanton.
Stanton, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It says Haywood County, Haywood County, Tennessee, which is about if I can get a driving distance.
It says 50 miles in the article. So 50
50
miles
miles
northeast
out.
of Memphis.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not far out, but it's not close. Like personally, I don't think that it's really sustainable because it's. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Like I don't know how light rail systems work, but I think they need like a certain density to keep it sort of profitable.
It can depend.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily worry about that.
Of different factors.
I would worry
Yeah.
about, like, this is a great excuse to shoehorn in a 50-mile long light rail route that is going to be a springboard to having better transit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
reasonably speaking, it's not going to be, it's probably not going to make a ton of money. But if the idea is they're doing this giant factory, $5.6 billion Ford plant, right? If they're doing this giant
Yeah.
factory, at the very least, what this does is it keeps the workers going to and from the factory off the highway, which is
Yeah.
which is nice for traffic,
Yeah.
because that would be a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
I would hope this area already
And-
has a heavy rail connection, so that they can ship
No, it
cars
doesn't.
out. Which, okay, that's stupid, but
Yeah.
hopefully they're going to build one, because I can't imagine making an auto plant and then trying to ship out individual truckloads of cars. That seems like a
Yeah.
recipe for just
Stupidity.
yeah,
Yeah.
gigantic traffic backups.
Yep.
So I actually want to know where this plant is going
They,
to be.
they call her. They call her.
I'll pull up again. Blue Oval
I'm
City.
looking up Stanton, Tennessee.
They're just building an interurban at that point. Why not just go all the way
It
and do that?
is in the Terminus chat.
I mean, it would be exciting.
where it is.
would. That's what sort of piqued my interest about this thing, is because I saw it and I went, "Wait a minute, they're like a 50-mile light rail line. I'm pretty sure that's called an interurban."
Yeah.
Oh, it's south of Stanton. It's not. There is rail in Stanton. I could see them getting a train line down into there. Or I hope they do.
Ideally, they would.
What the heck was over
Because-
here, Blue Oval City? And why
Well,
is it
nothing.
closed?
Well, that's like Blue Oval City is the name of the plant
Okay.
that's going in,
Oh, okay.
and it's expected to open by 2025, which is in 3 years from now.
Well, they
They
better
don't
get
have
building.
an exact. Yeah, they better get building. But I'm kind of skeptical on it. I don't know how well it's going to do, but if it does great, then fine, awesome, cool.
I like how the road that leads to it is Lafayette Boulevard. Or Lafayette Street.
He just sort of like perks up,
Yeah,
huh?
good boy. This is the tiniest passing siding I've ever seen. Is this even a passing siding?
Where?
I'm looking at the siding in Stanton, and it is, let's see. It is 1,000 feet long. I actually don't know if it's a siding or if it's just a dead end. It might just be a dead end. Yeah, it's just a stub. It's a stub for unloading hopper cars. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's still underwhelming. That doesn't make it less underwhelming. But they would need to build rail about 3.5 miles to get to Blue Oval City, just from the main line there. They would have to build a light rail about 50 miles. I assume they'd want to do it along I-40. It doesn't talk
Yeah.
about, that this is a serious plan right now. But
Yeah,
yeah, a
'cause,
light
like,
rail
they-
system could
they
mean less
still-
traffic congestion and more consistent travel times for Memphians who want to continue living in the city and work at the project called Blue Oval City. Oh, I get it, Blue Oval, haha. Ferd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they still need to get their funding approved
Well,
through whatever means possible. So we need to reincorporate Pete and Sam's as the mafia headquarters.
okay.
Yes, of course.
Can't we just relocate the Mafia headquarters to the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid?
No,
Yeah,
no.
Absolutely.
That's no.
They should make it like a Disney hotel and
that's the
it goes through the pyramid.
Exactly.
God.
Um,
Just like
Yes,
some
the
idiot,
Warren
just like
Johnnies.
walks through tracks, bang.
Full of mafiosos and union
and interurbans.
I could do some Pete and Sam's.
and enter.
I could do some Pete and Sam's, honestly, but it's too late now.
On the topic
explode.
of unions,
Do you really want to do this one now? I wanted to save
Yeah.
this one for the end.
Oh yeah, I was going to say
Oh,
we saved this
okay.
one.
Yeah,
maybe.
this is definitely.
okay.
We're gonna talk about
Okay.
that for an hour. So,
okay.
I think it's interesting that they're considering light rail. I'd like to see them give it a shot. I know they say that another option is commuter buses. Either way, they're going to want to have something.
Transit.
Yeah, some sort of transit going to this place. And
although I would prefer the interurban method that they're describing.
of course.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Train good, bus bad. Well,
bus
good.
okay.
Bus okay.
Bus meh.
Bus is good until we bridge the streetcar, then it's not good.
I thought Mata
Also,
had
like-
some sort of streetcar.
Like, Mata buses aren't really, I don't think, equipped for like highway use.
No,
So,
they would need to get a
light
dedicated
rail
fleet
sys-
of commuter buses.
Yeah.
like
surely.
a dedicated fleet of like highway capable buses. So light rail might be a more viable option.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd just be cool to have. I mean,
Yeah.
It would connect the. I mean, they would probably want to terminate it in the little town there in Stanton, and it would connect Stanton with Memphis, which
Yep.
would be really neat for the town of Stanton. Probably, it'd probably bring in a lot of tourism dollars too, because people could stay in hotels in Stanton and not worry about staying in downtown Memphis. Depending on where they would want to
Yeah.
terminate this line, there's a lot of questions here. I know they're just talking about like possible options, right? They're just talking about like how could we get the workers to and from without clogging up I-40 more than it already is, because I'm sure
Yeah.
I-40 is busy enough.
Yeah, like when I go up to Jackson every so often, it's generally pretty clear, but that's like on a weekend, not like during like the week.
Right.
So
The weekend. Da, da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da.
Speaking of things that are happening on weekends,
Go on.
weekends come to town.
There might be a new train going through the Berkshires this summer on weekends. The Berkshire Flyer is a Pittsfield to New York City passenger service that will. It's going to be a pilot program to see if people will ride the train.
Please.
I guess
Ride the train, damn it.
And CSX and Amtrak have to reach a formal agreement. This is based off of the merger with Pan Am. But a greater issue, besides, or a greater conversation, I guess, happening
Actually,
with the.
if you want to tie these together really well, sorry to cut you off, but if you want to tie these together really well, the only reason that the Berkshire Flyer is happening, or potentially happening, is because it's part of the concessions for Amtrak to approve of the CSX Pan Am merger.
Yeah.
They a couple of years ago, Amtrak wanted to run the Berkshire Flyer, and I've mentioned this in my rants about the Hoosick Tunnel and the CSX Pan Am merger, but the response by CSX was basically two middle fingers and walking out of the room and saying, no, we don't have the capacity for that, and ending the conversation there.
Giant dump on the
So,
desk.
so, what'd you say?
Just taking a giant dump on the desk.
Yeah, no, it's just like, we're not having this conversation. No, you cannot run your train through State Line Tunnel. And Amtrak says, but we rebuilt this whole thing just so we could get there. And CSX says, I don't care, that wasn't our money. So,
Sounds about right.
in the wake of the upcoming CSX Pan Am merger, in order to start getting people on their side, they've been making conditions with other railroads, and we'll talk about this even more when we get to the other merger that's going on, obviously.
It's not really. Are you talking about MRL? Oh,
No.
never mind. You're not.
No spoilers for guessing what the other merger I'm referencing is. But yeah, so there has been significant opposition to CSX Pan Am, in no small part by Amtrak, because of the way they're suffering down south, trying to get their Gulf line in. But yeah, TJ, tell us about where we're at with the negotiations.
Yeah, so part of the negotiations going on right now are involved with increasing and being friendly to passengers, which is something that Amtrak seems to have not really been doing until
Reason?
recently. So expanding service, priority passenger rail having priority over freight rail, things like that are really looking up for Amtrak because they are requiring it as part of their agreement with the merger.
Yeah, Amtrak said, no, listen, you gotta, like, we'll approve of the merger if you help us out and let us run, like, east-west rail in Massachusetts. That's part of it. I believe more down-easter trips or things like that. Obviously, the Berkshire Flyer, as previously mentioned. They've made a deal with the Vermont rail system for access to points that are not owned by CSX or G&W. Namely, mostly G&W. I don't think they're going to directly interface. I don't think Vermont Rail System would directly interface with CSX under the proposition, but they would basically only be able to interface with Pan Am. Only be able to interface with G&W. Instead, they were granted a handful of trackage rights trips per month or per year. I believe it was something like it's different per connection, but for example, there's dwell rights, excessive dwell rights, which means that if a car that's destined for the Vermont rail system ends up at East Deerfield and is sitting there for more than 48 hours, East Deerfield can send a train down G&W trackage to retrieve their cars from East Deerfield. And there were a bunch of other ones in here. It was all spelled out to me when this article came out, but it's been a while. Oh, they're probably inside the actual filing. But that and the state of Massachusetts also weighed in on top of Amtrak, saying they need to protect commuter service, like you said, TJ. There's a hearing that was actually a couple days ago. I don't know if we've gotten anything out about that lately. But CSX, Pan Am, Norfolk Southern submitted filings backing the merger, and others opposed. The MBTA said discussions with CSX have been positive, but have not yet produced a written agreement. And it would withdraw its request for conditions on the merger if the two sides reach a deal. So, these are the conditions that they're looking for. Transfer of dispatching on state-owned routes to the MBTA, drafting a plan to address threats to capacity and to existing and projected future passenger rail service on MBTA-owned trackage, a joint inspection of Pan Am and Pan Am Southern facilities, a commitment to maintaining the knowledge corridor between Springfield and East Northfield as Class 4 track, and they also asked the STP to make CSX commit to studying and allowing proposed passenger service in western Massachusetts over the former B&A main line and the former B&M main line west of Ayer. So
here's a quote that I found really interesting.
Go ahead.
This is in the conversation of passenger service in Western Mass, in the Berkshires, and someone said, I think in 150 years, no one has stood up to the railroads. Mediocrity seems to be the word of the day, and the Western Massachusetts and the Berkshires should not accept mediocrity when we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for funding to build a state-of-the-art service. This is from John Barrett III, a rep from North Adams.
Nice. It's good to see North Adams swinging its weight around. It really kind of is the powerhouse in the Berkshires, or at least the Northern Berkshires. And yeah, I mean, this is the one time where this system is changing hands, and there's an opportunity to sort of put a wedge in it, to change the trajectory of what's going on because things are so in flux.
He said in this article they continue on to say that after the 2015 purchase of the Housatonic by CSX or by the state, I mean, they were saying that the state could now consider buying west of Worcester Track from CSX if they really wanted to make a good east-west passenger rail system. But the MassDOT also said that it would have to be a separate service from the MBTA commuter rail.
I wonder why.
I was wondering that too.
I mean, it would be a different sort of setup, right? It would be closer to the Cape Flyer than MBTA.
Yeah, it says although operation of the east-west service by the MBTA would be technically possible, there would not be many benefits achieved from the expansion of the MBTA's mission and oversight to include intercity rail service in Western Mass. The report concluded.
Yeah, the MBTA is all about getting people to and from Boston, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But, you know, it would be nice to see their scope change or the development of another agency to facilitate
Yeah,
intercity.
MassDOT said it wasn't a it was not a railroad and does not have the capacity to assume the responsibilities of one. So I don't think MassDOT will be doing anything anytime soon.
No.
Which is clearly why these people, especially in Western Mass, are really pushing for Amtrak to step up.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Amtrak should have gobbled this up when they were they were all over like corridor services. I'm surprised they didn't try to jump on this one because it's just
Yeah, I
seems so
mean,
obvious
come on,
to
the
me.
knowledge corridor too.
Well, yeah, I mean that one. We're getting passenger rail density back, which is nice. We're getting it back in New England.
Yeah, it's cool to see people actually taking an interest.
Meanwhile, let's talk about the big freight railroads throwing their weight around, because Metra, meanwhile, is asking CP and KCS to please tell us more about your merger. They would like more information on traffic impacts. Now, the two merging railroads have talked a lot about how much more traffic they're going to get out of this. Namely, they're going to try to siphon it away from UP, although with the current situation that's incoming that we're going to talk about, they're probably going to siphon some away from BNSF too, depending on how long things go on. But, quote, CP's refusal to provide the documents Metra has requested seriously jeopardized Metra's ability to adequately review and respond to the impacts of proposed transaction by the board's deadline of February 28th, Metra said in a December 31st filing. Now, I feel more bad for Metra than I feel bad for Union Pacific, who was asking basically the same thing. Because UP is a freight railroad, they can handle their own business. But Metra is, like many other commuter and passenger railroads in the U.S., kind of beholden to dealing with whatever the freight railroads decide to do. So I hope they get what they want, but they've really been in a position of getting screwed over by freight railroads lately. I need not talk again about the current ongoing fight between Metra and Union Pacific. Meanwhile, BNSF itself is trying to weasel its way down to Mexico. Now, do you guys remember how during the CP and CN fight over KCS, there was another bidder that was not that remained anonymous? There is some speculation that was BNSF, because now that the CP KCS deal is more or less secured, BNSF is filing a proposal related to the merger that says it may seek trackage rights on KCS to reach the Mexican border, and they'll seek a concession from the Mexican government to provide service south of the border. So BNSF wants in on this Mexico traffic, and part of it might be because, as mentioned in another article, the CP CEO would like to invest in a container port in Mexico's port of Lázaro Cárdenas. I believe it's on the west coast of Mexico, right? Because it says it could relieve the U.S. ports
of congestion.
Yeah, and yeah, so the Mexican port's disadvantage in terms of sailing times could be offset with ships with a full ship of goods to discharge at Lázaro, rather than making intermediate stops. In that case, the additional sailing time would be just 3 days, 16 days as opposed to 13 to Los Angeles. Today, the on-dock dwell exceeds a week at Los Angeles. Compare that to Lázaro, where you can take no more than 2 or 2.5 days, and you have a 3-day disadvantage that's overcome by getting the goods off the boat a lot quicker. So they really want to invest in this and get some intermodal in and out of this Mexican port, and I'm sure BNSF wants in that game too. Meanwhile, CN wants a piece of KCES, and yeah, BNSF wants to track its rights, as previously mentioned. It would like the Surface Transportation Board to force CPKC to sell the KCS line between Springfield, Illinois, and Kansas City as a condition of the approval. CN said that would enable better competition between Chicago and Kansas City and create parallel routes for the two Class 1s. So, CN has a line from Chicago to Springfield. They want to go from Springfield to Kansas City over KCS. They want that piece of track, and they don't want to negotiate for it. They just want to get it. They want it to have to go up for sale as part of this deal.
Right.
So, that is... I don't think we'll see that happen, but that would be big if it does happen, at least for those two competing. Meanwhile, Amtrak supports this merger, mostly because CP has a great score in terms of working with Amtrak, I would figure. I think they're one of only 2 Class 1s that gets an A. But that's your CPKCS update. Julius, do you want to tell us about your merger?
It's not really a merger. It's more of a friendly takeover.
Friendly takeover.
Well, it's consensual.
Consensual takeover.
Consensual takeover. That's the name of this podcast.
So MRL has decided that they've had enough, and because all of their main line is technically lease, they will be returning that lease to BNSF. So the lease, it was originally leased from Burlington Northern. Obviously, when BN not fucked, try not to be horny. When BN added SF, they continued on that lease, but presumably just because of how little traffic there is actually on the MRL, how few industries now, and how many of them have been abandoned just in the last 10 years. The MRL doesn't really see a point in just being like a mediator when there's not really profit. And given that 90% of the trains on that line are BNSF anyway, as BNSF overhead traffic, there's not really a point. So MRL has just said, we're just going to end this, just get it over with. It was pretty much bound to happen from the way this R&R article frames it. Sounds like it was pretty inevitable. And so there you go. MRL is we know more. We don't have any dates yet currently, but
More like
I
MRL.
say, just
Putting the L in MRL.
all right. That was funny. That was pretty good.
Next.
I wanted to say about the merger, or about the situation with MRL, the balance has really tipped for them, hasn't it? Because they had a pretty decent share of the carloads moving across their line, and now they have less than 10%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just because of how much industry has just gone, and because it's not really a big area, so it's kind of hard to make money up there.
Yeah.
So they don't.
Well, that's a shame. Hey, at least you got to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna head up there one more time too.
I wish I could. They have a snappy looking paint scheme. I think they will be sorely missed, especially because they almost became another Class 1.
Yeah.
I like how they went
so
from
close,
almost
Class
Class
1
1.
about 1,000 times.
Like literally
A
a
Class
year
0.
ago, we were talking about how they were almost a Class 1, and now they're going away. Do you know when their last day of operation is supposed to be?
Not yet.
Ah.
Yeah, it's just
No dates
rumorings.
dates are finalized yet. So
It's rumor speculation right now. I know they still have to go for the STB and whatnot to get it all improved, and
TB.
yeah.
You
tuberculosis.
can't walk out on your lease like that.
ST
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
babe, you can't just leave your lease like that.
Peace
No,
out.
you're
We're
too
taking the money and
sexy.
leaving.
You're too sexy. No.
Okay.
I
Actually,
mean the
We get off.
MRR was sexy. So,
yeah. It's interesting how that's just, like a light switch. It's just gone. We're just not going to have
yeah.
the MRL anymore. We're just going to have more BNSF. For
Plus,
now,
I'm pretty
anyway.
sure
We'll
they
see how much
were.
BNSF we actually have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
they were one last railroad still wanting 20-cylinder SD45.
well, sort of, kind of, maybe.
All right.
Okay.
They weren't really at that point because,
They should have had more Alcos.
no.
Yeah. They
No.
need more Alcos. That's
No.
what would have done it.
They made more up 45.
Nobody likes Alcos.
That's not accurate. Everybody loves Alcos.
Do you like Alcos?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Mm.
You know who
I do.
doesn't like Alcos?
Who doesn't like Alcos?
BNSF.
Alice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
BNSF also doesn't like
Their employees.
their employees
Yeah.
right
Please,
now.
yeah.
That's good because their employees don't like BNSF either.
Yeah.
So can someone detail to me what kicked this thing off? Because I know, but tell me like I don't know. What's going on at BNSF? Why is the sky falling?
So recently, BNSF released a new attendance policy, right?
Mhm.
So
And it's that you have to always wear your high vis, right?
well, yeah, I mean it's called high vis, but I wasn't gonna make that joke.
Don't worry, I've been
But,
sitting
yeah.
on that since the thing came out, and I was told the new high vis policy, and I had no idea that it had anything to do with the attendance thing. And I was like, why are people upset about the high vis policy? Why aren't you upset about the attendance thing? That happened. That did happen.
They're one and the same.
Yeah, I'm dumb. So,
No, you're
high vis
not.
policy.
You're very gifted. You're literally an engineer.
No. I don't know about that. I'm gonna go back to doing my 200 IQ plays in locomotive versus. So
Yeah.
they released the new high vis policy. What?
And basically, that policy says go to work or you're fired. Unironically, regardless of why, they're just basically literally like go to work or we're going to fire you.
Okay, go on.
It's a points-based system, and everybody starts off with 30 points. So, whoa, that's a grade. You start off with 30 points, and as you take days off, you lose points, right? But so, for example, if I take a Saturday off, I lose 10 points. If I take a Sunday off, that's 10 points. If I take a Friday off, that's 7. If I take a Thursday or a Monday, Thursday through Monday, some point in like that off, it's 2 points per day, right? But that doesn't sound so bad until you realize you have to mark on, so able to work for 14 straight consecutive days, nonstop, in order to make points up, right? So therein lies the issue, is that you have to mark up for 14 straight days, and regardless of what you miss. So let's say if you have to go get your COVID booster shot or whatever, and you miss, even though the company for a while was mandating that, you still
It
break
cuts into
that
your
streak.
14 days. It breaks your
It
streak.
cuts into your yeah, right. So any sort of missed day, regardless of reason, breaks your streak. So let's say you're on day 13 of 14 and you get COVID. That really sucks.
Yeah.
But now that sucks, bro. But
You're effectively fired if you're down on points and
Yeah.
you need to take 2 weeks to recover.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a great business model, and it shouldn't be replicated.
Two consecutive weeks. That's the issue. Like, if it was every 2 weeks of days that you work, that would be a much more reasonable system. But because you lose points every time you take a day off, and on top of that, you have to have 2 consecutive weeks of work, or 2 consecutive weeks of days where you can work, anyway.
which
Uh,
on most lines is just is just
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's
with
and
BNSF and
it
everyone
wears
under the
you
sun
out.
being shorthanded, you're going to work every day.
right.
Yeah, and it's and this policy is just going to wear you out faster than you ever
Yeah.
been before. Like you're probably going to see employees just so burned out that they just
They just
their
physically
points
can't
run them
anymore.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they're out of a job because it's such a nonsensical business model that some some guy on like the most insane amount of coke thought of.
I don't.
And
Well, it
you
probably
know
wasn't
this.
someone on a freakish amount of coke. It's probably someone looking at the bottom line.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but the
I
bottom
mean, this,
line.
little column A, little column B. You never know.
Yeah,
Executives,
true.
they
Yeah,
gotta
probably
have their
is.
fun too.
But this has to probably also go through like a chain of a command where it has to be approved from point A to like point G,
Yeah,
and it's
lots
got
of
to be
people,
stamp, approve.
lots of people thought this was a great idea. You know, like
Yeah,
this
Right.
wasn't something
yeah,
that
but
this wasn't
That, like,
something that
one
happened
dude.
like overnight,
But
where
it's
some guy
also-
woke up and decided like, hey, you know what? I'm going to change the policy, and he didn't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah. like there's probably also the issue of confirmation bias.
Yeah.
In what way?
where it's like these people approved it before me, so it must be good.
Right.
So I'll say okay, and if someone above me says no, then it wasn't really okay.
Yeah, it comes down the
might be
chain, and
the
you go,
long term.
"Oh, the last guy said it was okay. Yeah, this seems fine. Whatever." You just glance
Yeah.
at it and you go, "Okay, whatever. I didn't come up with this idea, so I'm not gonna worry about it." But then we get to this thing, and then what happened? So this policy came out. Everyone got real mad, and then what happened?
Oh yeah, BNSF. My bad. The NSF employees were like, well, we don't like this. We should go on strike. And
Fences or picket signs.
And that's where we are. Basically,
That's
it's
currently-
them saying to the unions, "Hey, this is effed up. We should do something about it. We should go on strike." And there hasn't been an official response yet, as far as I know. Right?
right.
I mean,
They have to vote on it to get the strike approved.
As for any.
Kind of counterintuitive, if you ask me.
The
That's
employees
just
have
how
to
it
vote
is.
on it.
yeah, the people
they're
of
gonna
the
vote
union
on
have
it.
to vote on whether or
Yeah,
not to strike.
That's the whole point of
how
being
it-
in a union.
Yeah. Representation by the people for the people.
Yeah, it's not like
But-
they're asking the company to
but-
strike.
Well, therein
Yeah.
lies the issue, right? So the
Uh-oh.
issue comes in with the railroad. So all the railroad has to do is call up a judge. The judge, because of how stupid the antitrust law or the anti-strike laws are on the railroad, because railroads are still sort of important. We can't have railroaders going on strike, God forbid. So because of how stupid the strike policy is, right? All the BNSF needs to do is call the judge, say these guys are on strike. Can you order them back? And a
That's a
judge obviously
judge.
isn't. And a judge is just going to say, yeah, sure. And they'll strike the thing and say, okay, everybody, back to work. But railroaders are just so fed up with it that even people who have, even people with 20 years of seniority who only have to work another 10 years will say, this isn't worth the seniority anymore. I can't do this for 10 years and quit. Which, well, sounds bad for BNSF, but in reality is kind of what they would want. Because all then they have to do is say, hey, federal government, poke, we can't run our trains right now because we don't have crews. Can poke, emergency one-man crews, please. Wink,
Yeah.
wink, nudge, nudge. And the government's going to say, well, we can't exactly say no because, there's no trains running. We have to say yes. And then we're going to get stuck with one-man crews. There you go. Bing, bang,
Yep.
boom.
That's like you said at the top of the show. I'm on your side with this. I've thought about this quite a bit since it sort of came on the table for a discussion. Is like, yeah, one-man crews are kind of an inevitability as we move towards a
More automated system.
Yeah, a more automated system. Thank you. As technology gets better and stuff like that, where you don't necessarily need somebody you're sharing your cubicle with, so to speak,
Right.
looking over your shoulder at all times. Like, there's a lot to keep track of, but you can have Jarvis keeping track of that stuff for you. And with that, it's like, yeah, so we're gonna get to one-man crews, or, maybe someday in the distant future, no-man crews, but that's a different story altogether. We're gonna get there at some point, and this might be the catalyst. Like, I could definitely see this being it. Everybody's already strapped for crews. Nobody wants to work under these conditions. The railroad doesn't want to fix it because in negotiations, or lack thereof, with the unions to this point, the railroad has basically said you have to offer us one-man crews in order to go, in order to bring us to the negotiating table in the first place. And that's why things have been such crap. And this is just going to lead them. It's going to play directly into that hand. And I guess the only thing that is a variable here, really, because I don't see it going any other way, really, is what is the Fed really going to do about it? Are they going to approve one-man crews? That seems like quite a thing to jump to.
I've heard a lot of. There's been a lot of talk in partly the White House, but also just like in government about, at least from what I've seen, about like competition, like trying to enhance competition in industries throughout the United States. So, maybe. They step in and say, "Hey, like, come on."
It could be a coin flip between, okay, fine, you can do, we'll push something through and you'll get your railroad back, or, hey, suck it up. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Go deal with your employees. Go make your railroad run. This isn't our job.
Exactly. It's like you're already becoming a mega railroad as it is. Like, the least you could do is make your employees run it, like, happily. You know what I mean? Like, sort of happily.
And I have no idea. And this isn't a statement on, like, who's in office or party politics or the leanings of anybody in government right now. I genuinely have no idea how this hypothetical situation might be treated by the current administration. And
I don't either.
That means everything top to bottom. And that's what we're going to have to wait and see if it gets to that point. Is BNSF going to roll the dice on that? Maybe. They might not want to. They might know, they surely know more than we do about how the Fed might react. And if you want to put the tinfoil hat on, you can say that, they know that this chain of events is inevitable, and that's why they made
truthfully, I think that's what it is.
They made such a crappy policy so that they could force their employees to strike. Yeah, but
get what they wanted. Is it a bit effed up? Yeah, but I think that thing, it's not a stretch to say that's what they did. It's not a stretch at all.
No, I don't. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think that's necessarily reasonable, because that's a lot of like, we're thinking, I'm 4 parallel universes ahead of you, employees. I'm thinking it was somebody going, okay, we're hemorrhaging employees, and the ones we have, they aren't working enough, or we can get more hours out of them.
They're not working hard enough.
Yeah,
we can make them work harder if we want to.
Well, no, not even that. Not even that. Not even they're not working hard enough. Like, they're just not coming in often enough. And we need to make sure that they have fewer days off. How are we going to do that? And this was their solution to that. It's okay, we'll make it a real pain to take a day off, and we'll give a huge incentive to working, many consecutive
non-stop
days.
But another good incentive is bonuses. Like you give out bonuses. What?
Pay is based on seniority in the railroad. There's no room for bonuses.
Oh.
Well, they could change that. It's
their
railroad.
Like make better incentives that don't punish the employees. like incentives that actually encourage you to come in, not discourage you from taking your time off.
But
Well, that's the
That
thing.
makes
We're
that makes no
one of the
sense.
only. We're one of the only countries that don't mandate like paid sick time and vacation time. Like,
okay, but
of course, they're going to use that
that's
to.
I feel like that's neither here nor there because what Dean's getting at
Well,
is
they're not gonna mandate it if they don't have to.
no, but what Dean's getting at is okay, give greater incentives for coming in. Now, but the thing is, I don't think that people aren't coming in because they're not getting enough incentive to come in. I think that people aren't coming in because the working conditions and the systems of other things like vacation time benefits, stuff like that, they just aren't up to snuff. But namely, I would guess that it's the working conditions. Everything I've ever heard about being a freight railroad engineer is that it's miserable, and particularly for a class 1, people don't want to come in because they're burned out. And instead of, and I don't think you can put a bigger carrot on the end of that stick to make people forget how tired they are and come into work anyway, or how sick they are, or whatever is stopping them, how deprived of human contact they are, and come in instead. I don't think that that incentive is going to change the equation for them.
It won't. And I think it should be a much larger. This should be a much larger issue than it's gotten. It's gotten a lot of attention in the railroad community, but I think it needs more in just the regular person community, because I don't know how people would feel when they realize that 80,000-ton loaded ethanol trains are going to be barreling through their towns with two guys who haven't had a day off in 3 weeks,
Yep.
who are tired and burned out, and we need a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can't fix that by making people want to come in more. You need to fix that by getting a better workforce. Or bigger workforce.
Bigger workforce? Well,
and nobody
and
wants
even
to do that
worse
right now.
Well, and it's not even they don't want to do that. They have the people furloughed. There's shit tons of people furloughed on BNSF. I know people furloughed on BNSF right now. They're trying to do a lot too much with too little.
Yeah.
Is their issue.
They're
you
too
can only
concerned
stretch
about
a
the
dollar
bottom
so
line.
far.
They want more money.
You can only stretch a dollar too far. That's kind of what I say about it.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, somebody should explain that to BNSF. I think they're about to stretch a dollar into one-man crews. It's
Yeah. Well, and obviously when
Sorry.
it's allowed on BNSF, it's going to be allowed everywhere. So it's not like it's just BNSF.
right.
Yeah, it's give an inch, take a mile. Essentially, that's the way I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, well, they're
Because if one river does it, what's to say another river won't?
Oh no, they all absolutely will.
They will. They
that's
absolutely
the point.
will.
It's a think about it. You would be able to get away with half of the man hours that you do now. Literally.
Think of how much more money you'd be able to make.
Exactly. Or how much less how many fewer people you'd have to pay. And I think that is absolutely the crux of what got them here in the first place. They just want to pay
they want more money.
fewer and fewer people, and they've slimmed their workforce down to the point where they're seeing how far they can just stretch a human being. And when the incentives aren't working out, they just make it harder to take days off. So this is they've walked down this path. It doesn't seem unintentional. They're just trying to see how far they can stretch their workforce, how much they can get of how few people. I think you hit the nail on the head, Achilles. They're trying to do more with as little as possible.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to bend it until it breaks, and it seems like it's at the break. It's
about to break.
break.
It's about to break, but they'll get potentially exactly what they wanted out of this whole thing.
For all intents and purposes, like this could probably lead to a big dip in a BNSF.
Oh yeah.
Like dip in like a bad way,
Well, will be
like one profit margins. Two,
BNSF isn't stock. It's not owned by in stock, so there's no.
No,
dip
you can't buy the dip.
That's not what I mean. No, what I mean is dip in that wasn't a good word for
Carload
it.
moving.
It's gonna lead to
it's going to lead to more people going to trucks, which
Yeah.
is the opposite of what we need. But it's
Yeah.
inevitably going to result in even more people turning to trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
like,
I
we
mean,
need
at least we got the
more
potato
rail
farmers back.
transport. Yeah, of course we do. Like
We
we
may have
need
gotten the
more
potato
rail
farmers back,
transport
but we're losing, hundreds of industries, not hundreds, probably tens of hundreds of industries every year to trucks. Because there's just no point in shipping on the railroad because it's slow, it takes forever, trucks can get you there, it's cheaper a lot of times because of how shitty PSR is. The only industry that the railroads are prioritizing nowadays is the stack industry and UPS, and they can't even do that properly.
Well, and it's, Dean, I think what you're getting into is it's going to hurt the BNSF bottom line for a little while.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're wrong. If this strike kicks off, as soon as it kicks off, life is going to get real hard for BNSF. And if I were Union Pacific or Canadian Pacific or any other railroad that might be able to steal traffic away from BNSF, I would be looking at this and licking my lips. But as for BNSF and all the customers that depend on them, it's going to really suck until something breaks. Until BNSF gives in, which probably isn't going to happen, until the Fed
steps in,
gives them what they want, it steps in, or until they get enough scabs to cover the difference.
And remember, when you have scabs, when they hire a bunch of scabs, they're not unionized, and you can't unionize for like 90 or 100 days after you join. So for 100 days, they're basically non-unionized. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Which means firing them off, like firing them on the 99th day.
Yeah. We'll fire you on the 99th day. We'll replace you with somebody else, and then their 100th day will start again. Or just, whatever they decide to do, whatever policies they decide to institute because they want to negotiate with anyone for.
Well, they won't negotiate anyway because they don't need to. Because they want one-man cruiser and that's it. They won't negotiate until they get that. They won't negotiate till they can guarantee they're going to get what they want. Yep. And that's one-man cruise.
Yep. I mean, I think it's not inconceivable that something bad happens to BNSF along this process that shakes them out of it, but I don't think it's likely, especially because they're not a publicly traded company.
Be different if it was a publicly traded company. They would have done PSR if it was publicly traded, but
like the Buffett Warren billionaire says. No, I wanted Milky to chime in on that one.
More you learn, more you earn.
Yeah. Anyway. Milky's not awake anymore. Bye, Milky.
He fell asleep.
Yeah.
Good night, Milky. Love you, baby.
That's the situation. We will update you in 2 weeks if we have any updates, I'm sure. It's the hot button issue. Milky?
Milky.
Okay.
No.
He passed away.
He worked all night. I don't blame him. Okay, so real quick maintenance of way. We've got the Iron Horseman community channel. I already plugged that up there. By the time this comes out, the second episode of The Real List will be up on the community channel. That is a movie podcast that Gloria and I are doing. I just wanted to plug that. I'll throw that in the cargoes. You guys will be able to see it down there. Does anybody else have any other advertisements?
I don't.
Nope.
Please murder me. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I don't think that's an advertisement, but I'll throw it in the cargoes down here. It's on the 1986 film The Money Pit, which is a really funny film. Anyway, latest train on Amtrak. Well, only a 4.
Oh yeah.
Actually, things look pretty good on the map. Okay, what are your guesses, guys?
Westbound Coast Starlight?
Westbound Coast Starlight. Okay, but Coast Starlight goes north-south.
Okay, northbound then.
Northbound, okay. Jellies?
Mm. Eastbound. Eastbound Capital Corridor? Is that running right now?
You mean Capital Limited?
Yeah, that one.
Let me see. Is the Capital Punishment on system?
Punishment.
It doesn't look like it is. No, it's not. Try again.
Okay, let's do eastbound. Actually, southbound, no. Actually, I'll just do, I'll change. I'll do westbound Sunset Limited.
Westbound Sunset? Okay. TJ?
Westbound Zephyr.
Westbound Zephyr, okay. So the westbound Sunset is 46 minutes late. It's in Sanderson, Texas. The westbound California Zephyr, there are two of them. One's 20 minutes late in Winnemucca. The other one's 16 minutes late in Denver. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, there are only two. The northbound Coast Starlight is on time.
Oh,
The
wow.
latest train in Amtrak is the Southwest Chief. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes late at Riverside. It is almost at Los Angeles Union Terminal.
Oh, you know what, Ellis? I just
What?
opened it up. This map is stale.
Oh, the feed is stale. Oh, no. Well, I mean, that doesn't really make a difference. It's the latest train on Amtrak as of this morning. Close enough.
No, you're wrong. It's the Silver Meteor that was as
Oh,
of this
you're right.
morning.
It's down there. The Silver Meteor is 10 minutes later. 2 hours, 4 minutes versus 2 hours, 17 minutes late. I hadn't scrolled back over to the side of the map. There's also a Downeaster that's 41 minutes late.
Oh, there's no Chief tonight. I forgot they canceled it this week.
Oh yeah, we
Mister.
didn't bring up the Amtrak cancellations. That's another one that we
It's-
could have talked about. I'll throw that in the cargoes for people to look at.
Basically, Amtrak's going to 5-day weekly service for like 2 months because
Yeah.
of how many people are getting COVID.
Where did I thought it was in here?
Yeah, the
Oh, there it
MBTA isn't running Framingham line. Framingham trains, they're only going to Worcester and adding extra stops
Oh wow,
because they don't have enough workers to do Framingham trains.
that's unfortunate and strange.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
They're only running. They're
Worcester
only running to
trains go through
Framingham, or they're
Framingham.
running to Worcester.
No,
Oh.
they're running to Worcester. They had because Framingham and Worcester are on the same line.
Oh,
Right.
I
So
get
they're
it.
not stopping at Framingham.
No, they are stopping at Framingham. They're adding extra stops to account for the trains that would terminate in Framingham.
The trains the trains that would terminate in Framingham are no longer running, and the remaining trains, the ones that run all the way through to Worcester, are stopping in Framingham instead.
They're making extra stops. Yeah,
Gotcha.
because usually there's a lot of flag stops.
Are there a lot of flag stops on that route? I thought they were mostly on the northern routes.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6.
Oh wow, I had no idea.
Is there? Oh, there's flag stops on the. Is there flag stops on the Pittsburgh line?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a few.
the northern lines are the ones that are classically flag stopped. Like, I think the vast majority of them are on those. Anyway, let me see. What was the? I wanted to throw something in as my termination here because I thought it was neat and I wanted to talk about it.
Thought it was Yeet.
I thought it was yeet. Yes. Oh, you know what I wanted to bring up briefly actually was the situation with 7470. That's going to be my termination. So,
Situation.
yeah. For those who don't know, Amtrak just updated for me. The Amtracker just fixed itself. It's now the California Zephyr, the westbound California Zephyr.
Is that what I said?
That's the latest train in Amtrak. Isn't it what you said? I think it's what you said.
Yeah. Hey.
There's also a ski train on system. That's neat. So, yeah. 7470 caught on fire. The cab burned pretty badly. And they had to cancel excursions with it. That sucks.
Fun.
That's my termination. Go check that out.
Go support them.
Yeah, go support them, absolutely. Conway Scenic deserves love, needs love. Conway Scenic is bae.
I relate to the Conway Scenic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milky posted an article, a link to a video about
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker's evil dance. Gotcha. Bully McGuire.
also tune in again.
Anyway, TJ,
Yeah.
what's your termination?
I don't know.
No?
Stay safe. Don't get COVID.
Yeah.
Very insightful.
Don't go to the
Yeah.
Big E.
Go to the Big E. Break the rules.
Disease soup.
That's what the Big E is going to be. Anyway, O'Jillies?
Also, don't go to the Big E. It's just not worth it.
But you
To be
could see
honest.
me there.
Not worth it.
Okay, thanks.
Ooh.
No
Oh,
offense to you, Ellis, but
No, I see how it is.
you're worth it to
never
me,
welcome
though.
back to
Yeah.
my house.
You're nervous. You're worth it to me, though, Ellis.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate you a lot.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate you too.
You could go to Maine, though. Maine would be cool. Go to Maine. That's my
I
termination.
wanna
Go to Maine.
I'd like to go to Maine. Every day I wake up.
Every day I wake up, I'm not a maid.
Yeah. Anyway, Dean.
Jay the Jet
Nice.
Jay the Jet Dragon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. And we'd like to thank you for tuning into this episode of the Terminus podcast. I'd like to,
Don't know
of
if
course, plug the community channel, which there are 2 videos here that'll take you to that down in the cargoes. I'd like to thank you guys for coming on, including Milky. He had a long day at work. I'm sorry he
Probably crashed.
couldn't make it through this podcast. He'll wake up in a few hours and notice that
He's still in the voice
yeah,
chat.
exactly. Did you notice there was somebody that was in the voice chat for like a couple days in one of the
Yeah,
fan
Yeah, I
chats?
did notice that.
What?
Yeah, they were just alone in the voice channel for a few days, and I was just like, okay. I hope that's an accident.
Connect.
And yeah, thank you to our guests, co-hosts, to the viewers, of course. Thank you for tuning into another episode of this podcast. Thanks to Wes
All
and
three
Steve
of you.
from Steam Locomotive for having the Locobase. Without it, we could not do Locomotive Versus. And of course, thank you to Virtual Railfan for not giving us a copyright strike yet. We very much appreciate that. Although we will continue to use your camera until you do.
Until you tell
Yeah.
us. We can't.
Anyway, in case of an emergency, call Conrail, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Right.